listen, talk is cheap. Let's be honest. Talk is cheap. I need to really see how you're moving. And when I see how you're moving, like, I'm not asking you, like, yo, when I say jump, you say how high. Like, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. Like,
Purchase your tracks today.
Been chasing dreams, my money, things I do for my family, and on. I can't go without my blessings, cause blessings show. Been chasing
I feel like,
dreams, my money.
love for men is responsibility. You know, where we know we're loving is being responsible. So taking care of the things we have to take care of, being a man, you know, having our roles, making sure we checking off on those checklists, being a good man to our woman, taking care of our kids. And even if we can go as far as with marriage, right? Instilling the word, educating ourselves. How are we, in a healthy way, of course, keeping ourselves educated on what's good for us, what's good for our future. So I feel like our sense of responsibility is making sure that not just our woman, but our ministry, we are going to make sure that you are on track to being the best version of yourself that you can be. So I feel like with doing that, with having that sense of responsibility, peace and respect is very important. And if those things don't coincide, how am I supposed to have my responsibilities? How am I supposed to, like, complete my responsibilities if I'm not even at peace? You know what I'm saying? Or if I'm not even respected. That's like, how am I supposed to instill education, or if I'm supposed to educate ourselves and, you know, instill the word and things of that nature, and you don't even respect me enough to listen? It makes our jobs a whole lot harder. So that's why, you know, peace and respect, it doesn't matter. And listen, it sounds like a cliche. We can never kiss. We can never have sex. We can never do. If you respect and show me peace, I will stand by you for real, like, for life.
That's it.
And I feel like those are the pillars of a true companion.
So
It's hard to find now.
yeah. So to piggyback on what you just said, everything you said, I definitely respect it. And I couldn't agree more. And I feel like all those things, in order for me to get to this point where now I can then educate my wife and educate my children and take care of her the way that she needs to be taken care of at first. And this is why, like, I'm big on self-love, is because, like, if I don't know how to take care of myself, how am I supposed to take care of someone else? You know, so, like, when you talk about, like, there's no way you can wash your wife with the water of the word if you don't know the word, and I haven't learned it for myself.
fact.
That's me loving me.
That's right.
Fact.
There's no way, like, you know, you talk about, like, you know, working on yourself and having standards, but, like, there's no, if I'm not a disciplined individual, discipline is not just going to show up when she shows up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if I don't, like, if you're not a clean person, you're not just going to start cleaning the crib all day when she's there because you're trying to impress her. That's never been you. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm very big on, like, there's a lot of things, and you know, everybody in their season of singleness, like, yo, definitely work on you and focus on you, because these habits that you're building and these qualities that you're developing are essentially the qualities that you need. Now, if you're doing it right. Now, if you're not out here, like, dotting around, whatever, this, that, and the third, but if you're really focusing on you and you're really loving you and you're, like, you're focused on you, everybody else then benefits. Everybody else literally reaps the benefits of, like, the work that you've put into yourself.
I definitely agree. Marta, what you think?
Yeah. When what you said about if we go back to what you said about responsibility, like, you know, as a man, like, your best qualities is going to be your discipline, how you, like, present yourself. Like, you're not, like you said, like, you're not going to show up to a girl and then, like, you're if you don't know how to clean, how to dress up nice. You learn these things. You learn these little things, like, not only, like, when you're a kid, but, like, you learn these things in the word. Like, the word is life, right? When it tells you to, you know, keep God first. That's the first commandment. Love other people as you love yourself. You know, treat other people as you love yourself. These are things you learn step by step. So, also peace and respect. Those play, like,
And I think, like, when you approach, if we talk about love, like, and you getting into marriage, like, if you approach a woman and you carry yourself the way that you're supposed to carry yourself as a man, it'll be easy for her to give you these things. Like,
Controversial.
okay, all right, cool.
Let's think 2023.
No, for sure. No, you're absolutely right.
Okay.
You know what? I feel like it would be a lot easier than if you came and you didn't have yourself together.
True.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be hard regardless. It's gonna be hard regardless. It's one of those things where it's like, and And you spoke about earlier, like, yo, peace and respect. And it's like, the reason why I feel like it would be frustrating is because I know the work that I've put in to then, like, if you're over here, like, you're trying to teach your wife and your kids, whatever, you know, scripture, this, that, and the third, and you know you've labored, you've spent nights late at night, you know, just studying. You know what I'm saying? Obviously studying for your own salvation and for your own personal growth, but knowing that one day, like, I'm gonna have a wife and this is what I'm gonna have to do.
Yeah.
And you're not respecting me in that space. It's like, yo, listen, like first of all, what are you doing? Because the Bible calls you to respect me as your husband.
Yeah.
But then it's also like, yo, damn. And like, I'm thinking to myself, like, yo, damn, God, like, I put in all this time and effort and work. Not saying that, yo, it was in vain, because obviously I got closer to him and I grew my own personal relationship. But like, I did this also because I knew I'm called to like lead her as well. And she's not even listening to me. Like, what's up with that?
I got a question for y'all. Now, with the way today's culture is going, do you feel like you need to be married to demand these things? Because women really do feel as if you can't ask of me wife things if I'm not your wife.
I need an example of like wife things. Like,
I'll give you right now.
is like nice or girlfriend.
But you see what I mean though? It's like we're in relationships. We're saying like the basic necessities of what we need. And a lot of times, and I've seen even men believe this too, they feel like, yo, you can't ask a woman to respect you on that level if you're not even a husband.
What's that level?
That level of like, if you tell her something for her to listen.
Oh, like
Because
like,
that's
Your
what-
word is final type.
You feel me?
Okay.
Because people feel like that respect is almost you assuming the role of the father.
Right.
And they feel like you can only assume the role of the father when you get married and that responsibility is put on you.
Put on you, right?
So
for sure.
do you feel like that is too much to ask for when it comes to being in a relationship? Or do you feel like that's your standard?
That's way too much to ask for nowadays, bro. You ask a woman to respect you.
Personally, do you feel like that?
Oh, you want me to
Like,
say
do you feel like that's too much to ask for? Or do you feel like, yo, this should be...
for a man, it's not, but to a woman, it is. So it's like all you want is just your respect. Like, just put some respect on your name. Like, that's all you want. And it's literally hard, and I'll say it's hard because nowadays it's conditional love. Women don't know how to unconditionally love nowadays, and men don't either. There's a lot of conditional love. Like, yo, if you don't make this X amount of money, I have a 6, 6, and 8 rule, right? You got to be 6 feet tall. You have to have the 6-pack, and you have to have an 8-inch. You feel me? A 6, 6, 8 rule. If you don't have that, they not respecting you. They're not loving you. They're not doing none of that. You feel me? And it's crazy because like they trying to put us in this little box, and we have to fit their standards in order for them to respect us. And that's what it is nowadays.
So
What y'all think?
There's this concept called the law of circles. So it's 3 circles. It's the circle of strangers, the circle of friends, and the circle of family, right? So I feel like there's a baseline level of respect. While we're dating, there's a baseline level of respect that she has to have for me. But I will then know if she will respect me, like when we get married, by watching how she operates within these 3 circles, right? So you talk about the circle of family, right? Her father, hopefully you should be around her enough to see how she interacts with her father. Does she respect her father? Does she listen to her father? That will then give me the information that I need to know. If, okay, listen, when I assume that role, that responsibility, she's gonna match that. She's gonna keep that same energy. You know, when you see how she acts with her friends, like, is she always fighting with friends? Can she keep her friendships? Like all these things, like this is the same energy she'll then give you.
Talk
like,
about it, bro.
This is the energy that she'll then give you when now you're her lifelong friend and you're doing life with her. Like you can see these things, and I feel like it's very important for us to like to listen. Talk is cheap. Let's be honest. Talk is cheap. I need to really see how you're moving. And when I see how you're moving, like I'm not asking you like, yo, when I say jump, you say how high. Like, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. Like, no. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of crazy. But like, I do believe there's a baseline level of respect while we're dating. And you'll know what that is. Like, you know what I'm saying? She's not out here wilding out. She don't talk bad about you when she with her friends, this, that, and the third. But in terms of like, oh, listen, I'm calling the shots. I'm the shot caller. I can't really like expect that from her while we're dating, but I can see if she's got it in her to do that by how she operates with the male figures in her life. I won't say father because not every female has a father, but just the male figures, the authoritative male figures in her life.
I'm gonna jump on what you just said. Like the key word he said was expect, right? You could be dating a wonderful woman, right? But don't expect her to do wife things if she's not a wife. So I do agree with that expectation kind of thing, because it's like the Bible says wives respect your husbands. It doesn't say girlfriends respect your boyfriends. So it's like, what are you really expecting if it doesn't really say in the girlfriend boyfriend kind of realm? But at the same time, you do have to see how she acts with everybody around her. Yeah. Then you'll be able to make a judgment like, yo, 9 out of 10 times she respect that person, that person, that person. She will most likely respect somebody who is her husband.
But then again, you see that most likely. I feel like those are also empty assumptions, because now that you can't really compare how she's gonna be like with other people to how she's gonna be like with her husband. Like, let's be honest. Again, I like to say 2023 because it's almost like a refresh on our minds. 2023, right? We live in a time right now where, like, literally, I feel like just last week everybody was DTN. And now it's my man, my man, my man, my man, my man, like 100 times my man. So we done seen women take a whole complete 180 on the concept of how to treat a man for real. Yeah. So it went from don't do these things for him to like, yo, if that's your man, like you gonna do the world for him. So it could very easily be switched is what I'm trying to say. So we can't really say that because it can always change. It's very volatile. You know what I'm saying? You know, listen, women, please don't hate me, but you know, their emotions are very volatile. You know, it really do depend on the times for real. And that's why I feel like, and I'm gonna ask you guys this question, do you feel like there's 3 levels to dating? And because we say dating and like sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, I cringe when I hear that word because maybe it's because for myself, I feel like I'm past that. And like like I feel like I'm right there. Like
what 3 stages, like talking stage, date? What do you mean?
Like when I say I feel like it's 3 stages, I feel like okay, it's dating, courting, marriage. Okay. You feel me? And I feel like people just jump straight from dating and then okay, dating until you're married. Like no, like I really do feel like courting is a real thing. Like courting is putting that, you know what I'm saying? Putting pen to paper, putting what you say to practice.
So define the word courting for people that don't know it, because like even me, I have like some type of idea of what courting is, but I want you to like break it down.
I feel like courtship is not really a thing. I feel like courtship is a mindset. Courtship is when you realize, okay, this person is the one I'm gonna marry. You already have that plan figured out. If you in your mind know when you're about to propose, like you know when, like that's that usually okay, we've been courting. Because you know you've gotten it down packed. You already, you know what I'm saying? If you already bought the ring, you've been courting. You feel me? And I feel like within courtship is that stage right before, you know what I'm saying, you propose, to where now you're in that area. I mean, some people, they address it. Some people don't. Like, hey, are we courting right now? Okay, cool, we're courting. We know what's up. We know the end goal right now. Now, with that, I feel like when you're courting is when you start to put pen to paper. Okay, so boom. This is what you say you're going to be when we're married. Let me see it. This is what you say you're going to be, right? This is what you say you're going to do. Let me see it. Now, if I'm expected to marry you, that certain level of respect and peace, I should be able to see it. And there shouldn't be you're only going to get that when we're married. If we're at a level to where I already got the engagement ready, like I know what I'm about to do. So what you mean, like when so you're telling me after the pastor say kiss your bride, all right, switch turned on, all right, wife mode, let's go. You know, here's your peace, here's your respect. No, like we shouldn't hold it behind our backs like this is some gift we're ready to give on Christmas. Okay. Like wait until Christmas, like no.
I think this is the problem, like right, because us guys, like we're expected to pay the bill, or whatever, because that's just the manly thing to do. But with women, when you ask them to be a helper or whatever the case may be, or respect you, it's like, nah, you gotta wait till marriage. But it's like us men, like we're providers in a way at all times.
Yeah, naturally.
You feel me? We gotta provide for ourselves, and we bring a woman along, we gotta provide for her too. When we go on a date or something like that, and we gotta protect her. Like without a doubt, we have to protect.
It'd be weird if we didn't.
You're protecting.
So are you saying it sounds like you want the evidence and I want it now. Like I want it beforehand. Hold on. So are you saying the potential of it is not enough?
What potential?
Right. No. So what I'm saying is like
you have to show it to me for me to see potential.
Right. So I'm saying if she shows you this behavior though with her father though, and right now the father is that man in her life, and you'll eventually assume that position one day. Is that not enough?
Listen, fatherly respect is respect out of fear. I want y'all to really think about this. Fatherly, and like, let's really talk about it. Fatherly respect is respect out of fear.
Okay, let's go there then.
You live there. You are a dependent. You cannot fill your taxes by yourself. Okay, you must respect him. By law, by nature, it would listen. You have to. Your husband, that's a choice. You wake up every day choosing to respect him or not. Because remember, when you look at your husband, you look at him as an equal. When you look at your father, you look at, it doesn't even matter. I don't care what nobody says about this whole transfer of responsibility, the fatherly. I get that. We as men, we understand that. But I feel like we really hold them to it. And because of that, because we really hold them to it, they'd be like, whoa. Okay, I said I was going to respect you, but like, you know what I'm saying? You're still not my dad. And then we start looking like we dumbfounded. Like, what do you mean? Like your dad literally handed you off to me. Like, what are we talking about right now?
I think we're talking about how it's supposed to be. You're talking about how it is. Like, right? I think we're talking about two different things, and we're in two different lanes. Because we're thinking like, yo, it's supposed to transfer over. But in reality, that kind of is like a 50-50 slim chance that it might not.
But listen, there's risk involved in like 99.9% of the decisions that we make in life.
Yeah.
So including this one, right? Because you could get that in this courtship stage, you could get that evidence and things just flip.
That's true
Oh yeah,
too.
but by the way, I'm not talking about myself. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Yeah, definitely not.
no.
Wifey, you.
I got you.
We know you love me. Feel me?
Sister-in-law.
Sister-in-law, fine.
But like my thing is, it to me, you making it seem like, yo, if I don't got this, and it's not directed towards me, like, sorry, I can't marry you.
Now,
You gotta take your chances at this point.
remember what we just said in the beginning, though. We do as men feel like respect and peace is the bare minimum. Like, we shouldn't even get into a relationship with somebody we don't see peace with.
I agree with you 100%.
So, like, why are we at the final stage and, like, now all of a sudden women in the world feel like, nah.
So
we
he's
still
about
got
to-
more steps.
that's
Like,
Speak on
what you mean?
the
We
women
got
and the
more
rest of the
steps.
girls in the world. You know?
So let me ask you, because you've been 4 years now.
Yeah, just about.
All right, so you in your beginning like year, sir. So
Wait, you're a year?
no,
No,
in beginning
like
to
5
go
months.
to the year.
Okay.
So do you feel like if you're, I'm assuming that your girl respect you, right?
Yeah.
So if she didn't respect you, but she said, you know, I would want to wait till marriage to respect you, how would you feel about that?
It's kind of clip. Like she'd have to kind of explain that. Like, is she disrespecting me?
What if
If
she
she's
like a Bible
disrespecting
thumper?
me-
She's like, yo, the Bible says, wife, respect your husband. You're
I'm
not
sorry,
my
it-
husband.
It could be for 30 minutes, but I'm gonna hit her with 1,000 what you means until she switch it up. Until she switch up her answer.
I feel like now we have to differentiate now between like, okay, what's respect in when we're dating and what's respect when you're my wife, right? Like, what is that? What like, because like I said, I'm a big believer in like, yo, there's always gonna be this baseline level of respect where like, yo, you know she respects you. Like I said, she's not talking bad about you. Like, she doesn't shoot down like what you gotta say. She doesn't shoot down your ideas. Like, you know, she genuinely loves you. What like so like I mean, I guess my question is, what more are you looking for to know that, all right, cool, like you when we get married, you're gonna treat me like I'm your husband.
If I
You're gonna
say
respect
jump,
me.
you see how high. Nah, I'm just saying.
That's crazy.
You know, I wanted to say that out loud, but I'm cutting that out. I'm not. He said, I'm cutting that out.
I think
knew when to
it's
cut it.
I think it's more like when you get married, it's like I feel like you should, like, if she shows that she could respect a man in her life, like, fine, take that and bring it into your marriage, right? Because when you're married, you have to remember you're not just sitting against your other person, you're sitting against God and your other person. So it's like if they choose not to respect you, they gotta take that up with God. They gotta take that up with God. Like, yo, you're not respecting your husband. You're out of line right now. So it's like it's kind of like an accountability there that she might get convicted about. So I feel like that conviction is like it should be good enough to transfer her heart to want to respect you.
Okay.
What I was trying to say is that like it didn't, like, with the short time that we knew each other, like it wasn't hard for me to tell like she's a respectful person. You know, she's not somebody who's gonna just go scream and, you know, curse you out for no reason or just because she feels like it, or if you do something little, you know, she's gonna just black on you or call you dumb or something like that. It was something that like it took not too long, you know, to figure out that like, all right, so she respects me, I can date her, I can give her that title, you know, you're my girlfriend. and like even now, like she's still like she's like been going up. So
Yes, you should. That's what I like to hear.
You straight. You straight.
All right, close us off, Ken.
I stand by what I said earlier in terms of you can see evidence of these things in her relationships with other people. We just got to be very observant. You know, and like I said, I'm a big believer in like, yo, people show you who they are. They might sit here and tell you all types of stuff, but people will genuinely show you who they are. And for me, I'm like, yo, just by observing how she is with her friends, even how she is with strangers, you know what I'm saying? Like, are you a kind soul? I mean, obviously that's like earlier in the beginning, like when you're trying to figure her out. Hopefully by the time you're dating, you know she's a kind person. She's a kind, caring person. But then, yeah, like, you know, you observe her relationships with the important people in her life, her friends, you know, her siblings, like you said, her parents. And I feel like that'll give you enough. And then obviously at the end of the day, you just got to pray. Because you could do all that work. And even for you, you could get all the respect that you want, like, you know, while you're in that stage of courtship. And I could do what I'm doing, just watch her relationships with her father and her friends and this, that, and the third. And we could both end up in a situation where we both married and we're not getting nothing at all.
It's a fact.
So, I mean, listen, definitely get on your knees, pray it out, and then let God do the rest.
Things, my money, things I do for my family, and all that on. I can't go without my blessings.